From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. That's the passionate and fervent cry we're hearing echoing across the world, from coast to coast, in Europe, in Australia, people saying it with utmost conviction. For us, the Jewish people, it's obviously a very unnerving slogan, words that we hear that make us uncomfortable. The meaning of it is quite clear. I'm not sure, how many of the people actually understand what it means, but if not, they should know what they're saying. The river represents, it really comes from Genesis, where God promises Abraham that the land of Israel is going to be from the river, from the Euphrates River to the sea, which is the Mediterranean Sea. And God says this entire land, or the Sea of Egypt, which is the Red Sea, that this entire land is going to be given to your children. What it means is Palestine will be free, which means that the Jewish people are going to be evacuated, if you might say, or God forbid worse, from the land of Israel, and the entire land will be Palestinian. That's its simple meaning. It displays an enormous sense of, or a message of that very much sounds equal to what we heard in Nazi Germany in 1930. It's about the annihilation of the Jewish people. So it's extremely dark. However, there is a Torah concept, very important, a Torah concept that says, Niba v'lo yad man niba. They prophesize and they don't know, or he prophesied and he has no idea that he prophesied. Which means sometimes people say things with their mouths and they are unaware of what they are really saying. For example, let's give examples. It says it regarding righteous people and regarding even wicked people. Regarding righteous people, regarding Abraham, when he said when he was taking Isaac up to the mountaintop in order to offer him up as an offering, and in his mind, God asked him to slaughter him, to offer him up as a sacrifice. Abraham says to his lads who came along with him, he said, stay over here. Me and Isaac are going up there. V'nashuva aleichem, we're going to return. Now, according to what was in Abraham's mind, he should have said to them, I will return, because Isaac would not be coming home. Isaac is going on a one-way ticket. But since God's plan was that God was going to stop Avram from doing this act at the last moment, so in the end, Isaac and actually a ram was offered instead of Isaac, and Isaac and Yitzchak, Avram and Yitzchak came back together. So when Abraham said, we will return, it was true. But while he said it, he didn't know the prophecy that was coming out of his mouth. Because he thought, until he reached the top of the mountain, that he was actually going to slaughter and offer Yitzchak, Isaac, as a sacrifice. Similar to that, we have the sages say regarding Moshe, Rashi brings it also, when it talks about the Moshe singing together with the Jewish people when the sea splits. So in the song that they sing at the sea, he says, Tivi'emo v'sita'emo, which means bring him and plant him, referring to the Jewish people, bring them and plant them into your holy land. Now, Moshe is singing, and he should have said, Tivi'enu, bring us, v'sita'e, what would it be? V'sita'enu, and you will plant us, including himself. But because unbeknown to Moshe, it would be decreed upon him 40 years later, because of the hitting of the rock, that God, so to speak, punished Moshe and didn't let him into the land of Israel. So he said, bring him. The prophecy came through his mouth, even though he didn't know it. That's regarding righteous people, but we find it regarding wicked people as well. In other words, even though they're wicked and they're not necessarily, big prophets, but God slips, it's what we call a slip of the tongue. They end up saying something that's true. So we find that Paro, says to Yosef, when the brothers are coming down to Egypt, Paro tells Yosef, go fetch your family and tell them that you should settle into land. They have nothing to be afraid. Kituv Eretz Mitzrayim, because all the good of the land of Egypt is in front of you. V'ichlu es chaleva aretz, and you can eat the fat of the land. Now, what is Rashi says, he also doesn't realize that he's basically saying he's inviting the Jewish people in. He's later going to apply. It's going to awaken eventually anti-Semitism of the worst kind. He's going to enslave the Jewish people for 210 years. There is going to be the worst types of persecution and suffering. But in the end, what happens? The Jewish people end up going out of the land of Egypt, and they take all the wealth of Egypt along with them. All the wealth of Mitzrayim was taken along with the Jewish people. So here you have another example of prophecy, but not knowing that you're prophesying. I think if we listen deeper to what is being said, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, there is a prophetic statement over here. And it's good. It's a good message. Although those that are saying it not with good intentions, but God is putting something through their mouths, something really awesome.